This video will contain spoilers. This is my second attempt at recording this video. What happened with the first attempt is that I had created a party, but no one was on, and then I realized later that, oh yeah, everyone else was out doing other things. They were playing darts or something. So I thought, right, while they're not on, I'll make the video, but then sorry about that. So yesterday, I don't know, something's wrong with my PlayStation. When Binman joined, I didn't get a notification for it. It wasn't until he was like, "Hi," that I realized he was in it. He scared me. Um, and then when I turned the PlayStation off, I have a light connected to the PlayStation through USB, and I usually put my PlayStation in rest mode. Excuse me. But usually what happens is that the power will sort of trip for a millisecond, and what happens is the light resets. Usually what I do with the light is that I'll put it to a dark color and then turn the brightness down, because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to be blinded. But then when I turn it off, the power will trip for just a millisecond so that the light resets. The light didn't reset, and I sat there for like 5 minutes waiting for the reset just so I can turn it down and then go to bed. But I didn't, so I went to bed anyway. And when I woke up this morning, I turned the PlayStation. I tried to turn the PlayStation on. The controller turned on, but the PlayStation didn't, so I had to unplug it, plug it back in. But I never got the chance to finish the review. That I didn't really need to say all that. Whoops. Middle review, Like a Dragon Ishin. I am very much enjoying it. When I saw that the game had styles of fighting, my mind immediately went to Kiwami 1, and I was like, fuck that, because the fighting in Kiwami 1 is why the game is so hard. When I played it, I just used the brawler style the entire time. Dragon and whatever the other two were called were shit. But I very much enjoy all the styles. Ishin, bar, brawler, there are a couple skills where they'll say this skill will increase the power of your attacks, and the brawler style it didn't. I always had 6 damage at most, just throwing a normal punch. From the start of the game to I'm currently in chapter 10. This video was a bit late. I was supposed to do it when I did chapter 7. The way that I played the game was that I went through each style one by one. So that, I would do the brawler style until I ranked it up, and then I would do gunman until I ranked up, and then wild dancer and so on. Now they're all level 25. So I would have thought that the wild dancer style would have been shit, because it's a risky thing because you can't block, but if you know what you're doing, then you're just you're a maniac, you know. But now wild dancer's easy. I don't want to jinx myself, but I mean, the game is easy. What I do is I will use wild dancer when there are multiple enemies, and then when it comes to bosses and shit, I'll use swordsman. And that, I think I've died in combat maybe twice in total. The story I'm quite enjoying, but I don't exactly. I feel like the last couple chapters have been confusing. Most of the game so far has been you're looking for your dad's killer. But then you had chapter 8, I think it was, or 9 maybe, where uh, Ryosuke discovers that his brother is dead and he gets really drunk and sad and all that. It kind of reminded me of that bit in Black Flag, which I don't like playing. Even the first time I played the game, I thought, yeah, I really don't want to do this. Where he gets really drunk and just like everyone hates him. But that wasn't as bad in this. But like he's discovered his dad's killer. His dad's killer is dead. Really, I should be saying this in the end review because this happened in chapter 10. But like, where does it go from there? I don't understand. The only thing I can think of is that the chief said to Ryoma a couple chapters ago, "Oh, my whole plan is that we're gonna move the capital from Kyoto to I think the other place called Edo." And I assume it's just you either go with him or stop him. I assume you stop him because I feel like moving the capital, like innocents will die because what they mean moving the capital is I think they're gonna like basically kill everyone in Kyoto and then move the Edo. But I'm not sure. Maybe I'll understand as the story goes on. Anyway, moving on. Drop. Actually, I'm not going to move on because I'm thinking in my head, there's a couple other things I want to say, but I should probably leave it for the end review, but nah, I'm not going to do that. I have completed every single sub story that is available to me up to this point, which is all of them bar one. Like, I put in effort in Yakuza's 2 and 5, but I didn't get anywhere near all of them because there were some that like I just outright refused to do. But like, I don't know, this it's different. Like the majority of the sub stories, you don't even need to do everything. Like most of it basically just is introducing you to a character and then you form a bond for that character. And then the sub story ends there, but then you can continue the bond. And the bonds are shit that I don't really care about. Like one of them was some guy that he's like, "Oh, I want to see this particular sword and this particular sword, and I can be bothered doing it because usually what I do with swords I don't have is sell it or donate it to the blacksmith." But even though I didn't show him a single sword, the sub story is still counted as completed. Speaking of the bonds, I don't like how you need to constantly go back and forth. Like if it were just like say the bond is that you need to feed someone and you need to do it say 5 times. Just like I get why they made it this way, but it makes it repetitive. It slows the game way down, and it makes it not as fun, and it just makes it you less likely to do it. But I would rather just give someone 5 food items than give them 1 food item, fuck off, come back, give them another, fuck off, come back, and on until it's done. Like I remember in chapter 2 or 3 that when it was just Fushimi that you have access to, I would have just literally ran in circles doing every like bond, side quest, whatever there is to do, and it's just it. Even though technically I was getting progress done, it didn't feel like it. I felt like I was just fucking about. Um, Surprisingly, I've finished 2 masters. Komagi with the brawler style, I've done everything there is to do with him, and William Bradley, I've done everything to do with him for the gunman style. The canon shit, like, initially glitched out on me, and then I tried to do it again, but It's like too hard. I think I'm not sure. And then Dinryu, I'm not doing that shit because I can't be bothered with, like fucking about with the swords and stuff. I didn't really know that. I think I was talking faster the past couple seconds of that video. The reason why is because like I was needing to go, but I was like, oh, it's I'm not desperate. I'll just wait until the end of the video. But I decided fuck it. Um, I think I've mentioned everything to do with the Masters. That other guy, the professor with like the scarecrows, for some reason it didn't work for me when I tried to do it the first time. Then eventually it did work, but it's I wouldn't really consider him a master because you do unlock a skill from one of the rooms, but that's it. And even then, it's a book of revelation. It's not like it doesn't unlock anything on the skill tree. Um, yeah, I think that's everything to do with it. So moving on, Drop, mixed ratings. I watched it in cinema with Ginger. Brendan Sklenar, Violet Bean, Reed Diamond. I didn't know. Like I saw Reed Diamond's name in the credits, but I kind of forgot by the time you actually see him with like the glasses and shit. I didn't even know it was him. And also I haven't seen him in anything in a while. So well, what I mean is I haven't seen him in anything that's new. Like I think the last thing I seen him in was when he was in The Mentalist. You know, I show ended 10 years ago. But anyway, me and Ginger saw the trailer for this when we went to see. I think it was Companion, and even though it looked kind of silly, I asked him if he was interested in that, and he said yes. But then kind of forgot about it because I just did not see that trailer ever again in the cinema. Recently, they played it on YouTube a couple times, but that was it. So the promotion for this film was just outweighed by other things like fucking ads for being vegan. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, um, I didn't expect this film to be as good as it's not like I was expecting it to be shit, but I was expecting it to be like good but not great. But like genuinely, I was on the edge of my seat a lot of the time during this film. Um, like just the suspense of it. Like this really is a I don't even know what the words for it would be, but it's a special film. We'll say that. Um, I do like how there were a couple of times where it seems sort of I don't know. I want to say theatrical. I get that it's a film, but I mean like theater. You know, um, with the lights and shit. Like the fact it happened a couple of times. I can't like remember a specific example, but like something will happen and then all the lights in the room will dim and eventually turn off, and it, it highlights how isolated she is because literally anyone in that building could be the killer. Um, I wasn't expecting it to be Reed Diamond's character. Maybe that was kind of obvious, but in hindsight, but I just wasn't thinking of it. Um, what's the voice crack there? not everything about this film is perfect. Like, I think they did have to take a couple of liberties in order to keep the story going. Like, really, Brendan Sklenar's character should have left a long time ago. Um, but he didn't for like plot reasons. There wasn't. I mean, Violet did say in the film that like she was being abused by her ex-husband and shit like that, and that convinced him to stay. But that just seems cheap. I don't know. Anyway, and also at the end when they're at the hospital and Violet's sister like decides to prank her and pretend to be the killer. Oh, I'm back. It kind of reminded me of the end of Hard Eyes, but I think Hard Eyes did it fine, whereas in this it was just stupid. The waiter character and this got me thinking about having a comic relief character in a film like this. The way I see it, he's not a comic relief character. I find him funny because he's fucking stupid, but like me and Ginger were laughing really anytime he was on screen, but that wasn't the intention. I feel like having a character like him in a film like this makes sense because the film is supposed like it's not. I'm not saying it's realistic, but it's supposed to be real. You know, like it's not a sci-fi or anything like that. I've just realized I said sci-fi like I'm fucking Christopher Walken. But you know, the waiter doesn't know how serious this situation is. He doesn't even know that there's a situation in the first place. All he knows is that it's a date that isn't going well. Like that's it. He doesn't know that people are gonna die. So it kind of makes sense for there to be a character like him who, he's looking around. It's his first day, so he's quite nervous and things like that. I can't think of anything else to say. This felt kind of short, but I'm just gonna have to leave it there. I apologize. Man, no one knows. 2 cinema reviews coming tomorrow. Um, that a show review coming on Sunday. I think that's everything because I've still got like 5 chapters. Yeah, I guess well 4.5 really. Everything that I've been watching, I'm either nowhere near the end or it isn't over yet. I haven't really been reading. Excuse me.